It starts quietly. A city gathers by the harbor, flowers for their loved ones in hand. Gustav and Sophie stand side by side, watching the ritual known as the gamage. And across the water, the paintress raises her brush. She moves with divine precision, each stroke glowing against the monolith's surface. She paints the number 33, another mark in humanity's slow countdown. The crowd doesn't cheer. They whisper, they tremble, they say goodbye, and one by one, the chosen begin to fade. Sophie's hand slips from Gustav's. Her outline dissolves into light. He holds on to her until there's nothing there but rose petals floating in the wind. Watching the light fade from the sky, realizing that something beautiful can vanish the moment it's complete. That moment hit harder than I expected, not just because of its heartbreak, but because of its quiet truth. There's something haunting about watching a world treat the miraculous as inevitable, something sacred reduced to routine, time marching forward, leaving wonder behind. And in Gustav's stillness, I saw something in myself. Because that's what growing up feels like, doesn't it? When you're young, everything glows. Every sound, every world, every dream feels infinite. Then slowly, the light fades. Not because the world changes, but because you do. And at that harbor, in that silence, I felt what Gustav must have felt. The ache of watching beauty disappear. This is what Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is really about. A world running out of time, and a group of young men and women searching for meaning in what remains. And somehow, it made me realize I've been searching for the same thing.
Clair obscur, bordé au pain, tu trouveras sans elle. Clair obscur, double de mal, tu trouveras effet. Clair obscur, bordé au pain, tu trouveras.
Games are strange, beautiful things. They live between art and action, where story, sound, and play converge into something that can't exist anywhere else. That's what Expedition 33 gets right. It doesn't just show you its world. It lets you move through it, and a lot of times with the same hesitation the characters must feel. The first time you met Eskie, the big, lovable creature who traverses you through the world, it reminded me of Appa from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and how badly I wanted my own flying bison to cuddle up to and see the world with.
All right, ready to sail like a snail. Just jump, mes amis. It's not that high.
We can finally cross the sea.
When you're not floating in the waters or zooming through the sky, you're on the ground, battling against the Nevrons, a variety of imaginative enemies doused with various skills, designs, and personalities. It feels wonderful to take on battles against them. The combat is thrilling, turn-based, but alive. Each character brings a rhythm, a pace that turns every fight into choreography, a dance, and the music ties it all together. Constant, emotional, pulling you forward like a heartbeat. In juxtaposition to the tragedy that this game's premise begins with, it's not afraid of humor. Monaco steals every scene, funny without breaking the world around him.
I will never join you again.
There will be a lot of fighting, though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
There will be a lot of fighting.
Exactly.
Count me in then.
The Gestrels, strange, worldless creatures, somehow say everything without saying anything at all, like Groot or C-3PO. They're proof that communication isn't always about language. Sometimes it's about feeling. Then there are the bosses, huge, theatrical, breathtaking. Each one feels like a playable dream sequence, part puzzle, part performance. One moment, you're dancing through illusions. The next, you're fighting shadows behind masks. They brought me back to the PlayStation 2 days. To Sly Cooper, Kingdom Hearts, when boss battles felt like events. When you shout with your cousins in the basement, taking turns with the controller trying to beat the impossible. And I realized something then. I wasn't just playing a game. I was remembering play itself. The laughter, the chaos, the wonder. That's what Expedition 33 does best. It reconnects you with the reason you fell in love with games in the first place. Because for a few hours, you forget that time moves forward at all.
What is that? Will you tell me your name?
After about 35 hours, when the credits finally rolled, I just sat there. It felt like closing a trilogy that I was never a part of. The scope of it, the characters, the world, the weight of every choice. It leaves you silent, not because it's over, but because it feels complete. It reminded me that games aren't just entertainment, they're art. Pure, unfiltered imagination. They merge writing, music, design, and performance into one living form. And when it all comes together, when a game like Expedition 33 gets it right, you get something that no other medium can replicate. Because games don't just tell stories, they invite you into them. They ask you to act, to decide, and to care. They make you feel a part of the art. There's this thing in gaming that frustrates me. Economically, the industry is huge, profitable, and very mainstream. Culturally, on the other hand, it is still widely viewed as childish and looked down upon. This is something special to gaming, because finding your inner child in any other way is encouraged, advised even. But for some reason, gaming isn't allowed that same grace. We're told to grow up and leave it behind. But maybe the point was never to grow out of it. Maybe it was to grow through it, to keep the part of ourselves that still believes in wonder. When I played Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, I didn't feel like I was escaping the world. I felt like I was returning to something I'd forgotten, a feeling, a memory, a spark. And that's why this game matters, because somewhere between its heartbreak and its humor, its battles and its silences, it reminded me of what it means to play, not just to press buttons, but to lose yourself in imagination, to rediscover that part of you that once believed in the impossible. When I was a kid, I thought games were an escape, but now I think they were a mirror, a reflection of the worlds we wish we could touch. And as the screen fades to black and the music fades away, I find myself smiling, because for a few hours, Expedition 33 made me feel like a kid again.
Clair obscur, troublera-tu, courbera et faire. Clair obscur, dans les hauts peintures, trouveras sans elle. Clair obscur, troublera